Take 201.
Hey, Ben.
Hey, Mike.
Are you ready for our phone call today?
You know I am. We have another great guest lined up.
Can't wait. I love phone calls.
And I love waiting. So let's go.
Perfect.
Nailed it. Took a minute.
First
Thanks
try.
for the help. First try.
I had
An epiphany?
I had a really bad run-in with animals in my trash cans. That's my small talk for this week.
Oh, good.
I'm holding a grudge.
What kind do you think they were?
Well, this was unique because it was up against my house. They had to be pretty tricky. And I know, like the javelina, they'll, headbutt some trash cans to knock them over.
They will.
This was, I feel like, a more skillful group of creatures. Uh-huh. Either I'm thinking raccoon.
That'd be my guess.
Or what if it's a bear? Could be a bear. Because, it was like there were rocks moved. It was
all right.
It was like the scene of destruction.
Could be a bear. Do you have cameras or anything set up to?
No,
catch
not
this
yet,
thing?
but I'm
Man,
going to now.
I would.
Yeah, this kind
Check it out. Could have been
these kind of criminals.
Could have just been a human too, I guess.
It could have been. Yeah, somebody
Not likely.
very mad and wanted to just tear every bag open. Search for the bacon grease, maybe. I don't know what they were after, but they found plenty. Dang. So you know who cleans that kind of thing up, right?
Your children?
No.
Yeah, no, not a chance.
No, they had to go to school, so yeah, that was my week.
Good.
I guess, yeah, not.
It sounds like
it's just that time of year.
Took you the whole week?
Well, it takes me time to do things.
Yeah,
we've been friends a long time. You know how this goes.
I know. Yeah, I can already see.
I had to plan it out.
Yeah,
had to be distracted. But yeah, what about you? What's new? It's the fall. It's a great time of year.
Yeah, it is a great time of year. It's temperatures are dropping. It's recovering
from
that
dropped.
At this point anyway. In our process, I'm recovering from that candy that
Oh, that's right. I know.
That Halloween hangover.
That Halloween hangover.
Right.
I know the holidays here are
right,
here.
They are. And then just besides that, just hanging around the kids' school a little bit here and there, helping out where I can. Nothing crazy, but walking, taking trips to the library or helping out with picture day.
Well, yeah, La Tierra, great school for getting involved as a parent.
Yeah, and they do
encourage that.
They do encourage that. They need that for it's
great.
A smaller school anyway with less resources, and they do some cool things. So yeah,
the outbound learning. Right?
I missed this trip the other day, but the entire school went to Acker Park just to pull invasive weeds and kind of clean it up a little bit. So they've done that for a lot of years, and it's really cool.
Yeah, what's it called? Outbound learning or expeditionary learning?
Right. The expedition thing is a big
their
part
model.
of every year, and they change that as they go, and it's been pretty cool. I'm happy with it.
Hey, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, okay, as much as I just want to talk to you about the fall and all the great things going on, we're here for a higher purpose.
I keep forgetting. Yeah. Just
always
so
each week
in.
Each week we're here for a higher purpose.
Indeed.
Yeah, and this week, we've been trying our best bringing in the celebrities. It's been near miss every time.
Close calls we've had. Yeah.
Close calls. And so we've brought in a new expert that's going to help us to bring in the right people so that we can connect with our celebrity guests.
Right. We've got a guest of our own for the first time here. This is
exciting.
Yeah, this is exciting. So do you want the honors or?
No, it's all you.
Okay. Yeah. Well, today we're bringing in Miss Rebecca Horniman, and I'll let you introduce yourself and give us
Thank
some
you
stuff
guys
about
for having me on.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, I am here to work with you, but I know someone. And so I have asked her to call because your podcast is taking off. We're waiting on a phone call with you every week. And I thought, gosh, if I could come in and bring some people.
That sounds great.
Oh, we'd love
Who
it.
you got for us today?
I know you're a fan of this person.
I am a fan.
Maybe fanatic. You're the full word.
I'm the full word. Yes. I am a fan in every regard. Mm-hmm. I love Miss Dolly Parton.
Ooh. All right.
Nice.
Yes.
So we have reached out to her people and we've given her the number and the time, and we are going to wait for her phone call because she's
worth waiting for.
She is worth it.
She's
fantastic.
That's great. Love to hear it.
Do you guys know anything about Dolly Parton?
Well,
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I think everybody does. She's America's, I don't know, would we call her America's sweetheart? Is that?
I mean, that would be appropriate.
That'd be
that's very
appropriate.
Yeah.
I mean, she
Go ahead.
she's dominated for a long time as far as, culture. She's created so much culture. I think
She too is from a
you're
very
passionate
small
about
town in the woods
who she is,
out
yeah.
of Tennessee.
so I'm sure she's experienced little creatures out there. And
yes,
where'd you say she's from?
She's from the hills of Tennessee.
Hills.
She's from
She's
Pigeon
hill
Ford, Tennessee.
Dang.
Say that
and
again?
Pigeon Ford.
Pigeon Ford.
Mountain
name.
folk
That's
is how
great.
she describes her
Mountain
family. She is one of 12.
Okay,
Yes. The fourth. I know that.
Yeah, and born poor and barefoot in a one-room cabin, and sings about that in some of her songs.
Right.
She is just created herself, her persona, her, she knew that she wanted to get out. She knew that she wanted to wear makeup and high heels. And she talks about how the first looks as a teenager, a young girl, when you're just experiencing putting on makeup, might not be all that great.
Right.
And she talks about walking the streets wearing, big hair and makeup, and was mistaken for a different kind of working girl.
Oh, no.
yeah. Well, she has.
That's-
Yeah, doesn't she have a movie called Working Girl? No, that's 9 to 5.
That's right.
9 to 5, which is a working girl,
Which
right?
is a
Those are
working
the
girl,
hours of
yeah.
a working person.
Just a different type of working girl.
And I
She
think
was mistaken
was the
for.
song born out of the movie or the movie born
No,
from the
it didn't
song,
have
or
anything to
no
do with anything.
correlation?
No, so that movie
about
came out,
that?
I believe, in the 80s,
Okay.
9 to 5, maybe the early 90s.
Right.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And that movie in particular, right, was a anthem for working people.
Right.
In the movie, she had a terrible boss.
Yeah.
And she, along with her coworkers, this is when women were secretaries, right? Not even like assistants. They were
Right.
secretaries,
Yeah.
answering phones and that type of thing. And so she had a terrible boss, and they kidnapped him, and all, hilarity ensued. And
Well, it was born the same year as the great year of 1980. So
That movie, you're saying 9 to 5?
no wonder it's so good.
No wonder
it's
so
classic.
good.
No wonder
It
no
is
one
good
knows
movie.
what year it came out, because it still holds true
I know,
today.
I felt
Right.
like it might have been a 1990 movie. Even.
Some movies from back then really don't hold up, but I would say that one does.
And then she wrote the soundtrack, of course, working 9 to 5.
Right. And that,
Yeah, great song.
Stumble out of bed and,
yeah.
Let's hear it. Yeah.
cup of ambition.
yeah.
She has to
We'll
pour
start.
herself a cup of ambition every day.
I love
geez,
it. That's
yeah.
fantastic.
It's
No,
a
I think
great way to look at it.
for me, when I think of Dolly Parton, the obvious things that come to mind are, she has a couple of enormous hits
She does.
that she wrote, and the same session actually. I think of Jolene and I Will Always Love You, which she actually wrote that one about her. Would you call him kind of her partner? That she sang a duet with for years
Kenny
and years.
Loggett. Or Kenny
or
Rogers.
Yeah.
Well, right, but she had another guy that she did music with, and they released multiple albums. She was on the show with him, and that song I think kind of came from them. Their relationship kind of breaking up at some point, and that's what I had read
heartbreak,
along,
that's tough.
about that.
It was somebody that brought her into show business, and I'm
Right.
forgetting his
Yeah,
name.
I'm sorry. I should have
That's okay.
had that one ready to go, but I had it. I read it, and now I've lost it. But obviously that, and then just her just huge hair. She has some great hair. She always has. Yeah.
Huge.
And that voice. She's tiny. She's 5 feet tall, right? She's just a little
She's
thing.
just a little,
with a
petite
huge
and a
voice. Which my wife has always had this theory. Or I told Mike about it earlier. I haven't shared it with everybody, but it's a really good theory that all these singers, especially if you think of like today's times, a lot of the singers. I shouldn't say all. Can't lump them all together, but a lot of singers, whether male or female, are more petite human beings. They're pretty small. You think of like Lady Gaga or
Ariana
Grande, or I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on her name. The blonde hair really belts. Christina, thank you, Aguilera. So, and then like John Legend on the other side, or there's a lot of, and I was like, okay, so Dolly fits right in that. She's got that, just huge voice,
Right.
but it's not huge. The way she speaks is so like tiny and like cute.
I know.
I love the way she talks.
Same with these other, But they've got the vocal cords to belt it out.
Pipes.
It is.
And she's
Yeah,
a
it's an
storyteller, and you guys
Right.
are storytellers. Like that's where,
right
you
in
know,
line.
she learned to play the guitar and things like that. But she really is telling stories, and she's a lyricist, and so she's
Mm-hmm.
a writer. But she also writes songs that are very familiar to us all
Right.
that we don't know are hers. And then, of course,
Absolutely.
"I Will Always Love You" was covered by Whitney Houston
And became huge.
from The Bodyguard
Right.
and had a whole new life.
Yeah, absolutely. And she actually,
Mm-hmm.
I guess Elvis Presley had interest in singing that song, but because his manager said that it's customary essentially for Elvis to get 50% of essentially the profits, I guess, from all of the songwriters, you know, from the songwriter, it is, as it were, she turned that down and then turned it into, you know, a pretty good chunk of change for
Not
herself.
just a pretty face.
She
She's
didn't
also
know. She's a smart cookie. Yeah, absolutely.
Very
And tough.
savvy businesswoman and
Right.
has been all
Yes,
along, in
yes.
charge of herself, in charge of her image, in charge
Right.
of her writing, in charge of her career the whole way. So definitely something that I look up to.
Right.
It says she's composed over 3,000 songs.
Good golly.
Yeah.
I don't know if
That's
I've listened to over
So I know
3,000
you were
songs.
like just a couple of hits, literally just
Yeah.
thousands
I know it,
of
I know it,
songs
yeah.
and
Yeah.
thousands of
I might have
hits
been
over
off
the
by a
years.
little bit.
So
I don't know if you
productive.
know this, Rebecca, but we don't pay attention to the facts around here. We just kind of, you know, make them
You know,
up as we go.
That's
it's
what
great.
I'm a perfect guest
You know,
for you.
because Ben and I have, you know, accomplished what we've accomplished in life. But it's funny that we put ourselves on this podcast where we're bringing people on who are tremendously productive.
Talented,
Accomplished.
accomplished, hardworking.
Yeah.
Yes.
So should it be us that are, you know, really kind of bringing these people on? I think so. I think it's like
pretty
opposites
perfect for that.
attract,
Right, exactly.
kind of a thing.
I don't think our wiki page would be as long as
No.
say Dolly Parton's. I don't
Like
think
a
I had-
paragraph.
You mean for us? Or,
Yeah,
maybe.
I think if that,
Well,
a couple
I guess one
sentences.
sentence is technically a paragraph. It could be. So
Yeah.
maybe not a proper one. But
Born.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, just
Think
but
so.
I wanted to point that out.
No, that's
while
a-
we're
that's a
while
good
we're
point.
waiting for Dolly, who's
Fair
just a
enough.
tremendous individual.
Well, we're talking about her
Impressive.
talent. She's obviously well-rounded, as you know, was pointed out earlier, and
She is.
we have a special treat today, and I didn't know, you know, if we should save that for later. We can at least tease it right now,
Yeah,
because this might be something we have to bring.
Because
out
I'm
at the
being
end.
teased by
I
looking
know
at these.
there's some beautiful
Brought to us
cupcakes
by Marilee.
brought to us by Marilee.
Who,
They're
baked
beautiful.
them.
I can't imagine if they taste half as good as they look, they're going to be amazing. But even probably the most important part is that they are Dolly Parton's Southern style banana and Dolly Parton's Southern style coconut from Duncan Hines. So as we were talking about like her branding and everything and shifting her business savvy, she has put herself into, you know, in good company with Duncan Hines and making cakes and Southern style, of course, which is always, it just seems like that makes it better just in the name, Southern style.
I agree.
I know, beautiful. I love the branding. You know, I think like if you look at the Mickey Mouse symbol, they say, you know, they always have the Mickey Mouse symbol, so you can see both ears and the round face, right?
Right. It's
Mm-hmm.
never
I think
a
the
profile
same
of
thing
Mickey.
for Dolly. Every time you see her, you know, she's shifted left, looking over her right shoulder. It's just
Her best
I think
side, always.
It's
That's
her.
her-
Yeah,
that's
I
her
think
money.
she
It's her
probably
best side.
controls
I love
that,
it.
knowing her devotion to branding.
Yep.
You know,
She-
like no matter if she's maybe if you meet her, she just comes up to you like with her right,
A little slide.
like, hi, I'm Dolly. You know,
I love that.
She never
I hope
walks
so.
straight. She's just shuffling to the side. Dolly,
don't
she's going to
know.
let us know here shortly.
Well, I think, and Rebecca, have you met her? Because you've been to Dollywood. You have been to her concerts, right?
I have. I've been
Awesome.
to 2 concerts, one in Reno,
Nice.
and the second one was in Tahoe, in South Lake Tahoe.
Cool.
Beautiful part of the country.
I know. And then I went to Dollywood. We moved across country we lived in South Carolina and North Carolina for a little bit, and made our way purposely through Tennessee and saw, we saw Elvis's house, of course, and then
Right.
took a detour to Dollywood. So
Fantastic.
I've heard.
I mean,
it's
I love
great.
a good theme park, first of
Yeah,
all.
well,
So
yeah.
just,
Right.
but the fact that it was her theme park, I was like a kid and, excited for Christmas. And so
Right.
woke up early and went, and it's basically a Western, like Grand Ole Opry style theme park, family friendly. Our daughter was maybe like 12 at the time.
Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah.
So kind of perfect for it. And everything they serve is like Southern made. So we had fried chicken for lunch. That was like
So
at a
good,
theme
I
park.
bet.
I mean, probably not the best choice. It wasn't like a extreme roller coaster park. It's not that, but
Right.
Might be a little heavy for
it was
the
a little
rides.
heavy for, walking around in the heat of Tennessee in July, which was new to me, right? Humidity.
The humidity
It feels
had
like
to be
you're
tough.
walking around in soup.
Yeah.
Like it's
Wow, great
thick
description.
and
yeah,
like,
that is great. It is great.
It's hard to breathe.
You can't ever dry
Everybody
off.
smells a little bit.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
That's
It
well
smells
said.
different out there.
Oh,
That's what
that's
humidity
a
feels
great
like to
argument
me.
for not going over there for me because I already don't deal well with that. So
With the humidity.
Well, and we're
right.
lucky to live in Prescott, right? Like
yeah.
when it's humid here, we all feel it, and that really it's like, I don't know, 8% or something ridiculous.
Like one beat of sweat came up, and you're like, "Oh my goodness, it's so
can't
humid."
handle it. Yeah.
Stay
Yeah,
inside.
that's true. Well said.
So the theme park was really fun. Do you guys like theme parks?
Oh, absolutely.
I do love a good theme park. I always, I balk a little bit. I'm quite the budgie. And so, just a bit of a miser.
Oh, yeah.
When I walk, things like that. I mean, tighter than a duck's butt, if you will. But
I'm
so
right in
those-
line with that, but
I always have problems with, trying to go to the, blow all the cash at these places. But you know what? You only live once, as they say. YOLO.
YOLO.
Yeah, and so you got to get out and see them. And some of the, I've been to some fun ones, so I'm definitely a fan.
Right. You always
Yeah.
have fun when you're there, but
Right.
yeah, your wallet does take a hit, especially now. My husband is, once our daughter was old enough and we made our last trip to Disney and he was like, I think she was maybe 16 or something. He's like, that's it.
Yeah.
I've done my duty.
No doubt about
We've
it,
gone,
yeah.
years and I've ridden all the rides
Yeah.
and now she's old enough that I don't necessarily have to join you guys, right? Like,
Yeah.
can I get a pass?
Yeah. Well, and you don't think about it as a kid. When you go to these places as a kid, you're just like, it's it's the best, But then you do it as an adult with kids of your own, and you're like, holy cow! My parents, they went through some hell to get to make this even happen, And
Yeah.
so I guess it's just it's funny perspective
Different
shift once you're
perspective.
doing it from the person that's paying to the person that's not having to worry about that.
Totally.
Oh, yeah, it's
The
a big
one
one.
thing that I'm excited when she calls in today to ask about is Dollywood specifically. I know a little bit about it and I've read a little bit about it. She only hires people that are local.
Yeah,
She doesn't hire
cool.
from anybody outside of the community. So it's been a huge economic resource for the community to open up this theme park. It hasn't been a
Yes.
drain like other theme parks have had on communities.
Right.
It really supports the community. And then a certain percentage, and it's a fairly high percentage, if I remember, goes back to the community
Yeah,
for food programs, education. Of course, she's a big proponent of education.
Yep.
And just some economics, influx to the community, which is, she refers to them as poor mountain folk.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. But she sees that, and
She sees that and
makes it
has
better. It
always remembered where she came from.
That's so
Like
great.
that's something that she says over and over again is
Yeah.
I know where I'm from. And so regardless of her success, she's always giving back to the community. And I feel like you guys do that to our hometown. We all grew up here.
Right.
It's important to us. We all went away to school. We all came back and are contributing to our community. So that's something I feel like we really have in common with, other people like Dolly that are from small towns.
Yeah. In my life, I could only hope to, she's done so much for charities in general. And anytime there seems to be like a disaster or something that's, not great, she really has done a pretty amazing job of jumping in and helping out and raising funds and,
Gives to research and
hooking it up. I love it.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing we learn from somebody like her is community. Absolutely. And what Ben and I are trying to do here is, bring community into the local airwaves and working with you all at
With this-
Cast 11.
And with
of
a
course.
sense of humor.
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully.
Right. I mean, you got to keep it light and keep it enjoyable. Keep people like Dolly Parton in the spotlight. We like to, have those people that care and have transcended time. Certainly she's, decades.
Right.
The
right.
most important 2 decades, 80s and 90s,
Yes.
she was there from beginning to end
Right.
without delay, she didn't skip a beat.
No, she's still
Now,
relevant.
I do want to mention, though, Kenny Rogers' Kenny Rogers, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So that was like
Islands
her
in
man.
the Stream. She
I don't
did
know.
a duet.
Okay.
You know the song.
I'm sure I know the song, and
Yeah,
I don't know
you do.
This
Dolly
was in
Parton
his
very well.
gambler phase. Like
Right.
he was also
Oh,
like
yeah.
bearded and beautiful, and them together. Are you kidding
Yeah,
me?
of course.
I'm like
That was like like a vision.
a vision,
Yeah,
both of
yeah,
them
yeah.
together. And I want to say I saw them together on like Solid Gold or something like that. And
Oh, yeah. That's
Nice.
That's some good TV from back in the
I
day.
mean, absolutely
Well,
must see.
So Rebecca, as you know, I do like celebrity culture, but even more than that, I like food. And so what I remember about Dolly and Kenny was Kenny Rogers Roasters. I mean, the guy could cook some food. Do you remember this?
Was that
We
like a
had one
restaurant?
even
It
in
was a
Prescott.
restaurant, right? Or a fast,
not-
it was
not
almost
know
like fast
this.
food.
Yeah, it was like
right?
fast food. It was like
Yeah, I do. You just
it was
I
over
forgot about
across
it
from
until
Mickey
these-
D's on Miller Valley.
Yes.
Which has now been several different restaurants, but it actually was
Kenny
this
Rogers
Roasters.
Roasters.
Where the
Sizzler
Sizzler was?
No, like just north of that, like it's been like a Aliberto's or
Oh, okay. I know where.
Philly
most recently Filiberto's maybe.
Yeah.
Now I think it's getting renoed for something else, but yeah, I mean Kenny Rogers Roasters, that was some good
Man,
stuff.
I forgot about that.
you
It's
get
almost like a
some-
Boston market kind of.
Right.
Right.
It was a Boston market. And
Yeah.
maybe that, I don't know what happened to Kenny and his roasters, but I mean, it was like all the good stuff. You got the fried chicken, you got the rotisserie, right?
course.
Roaster.
Yeah.
You got some cornbread. Some, maybe, I don't know. Did they have grits? Maybe not.
I mean,
I don't
if
think
it's
I had
Southern
grits.
food, I would say
It
that was a
should
part
have
of
grits,
it,
but
right?
if you're in Prescott, maybe like they're like, oh, people don't know what grits are.
I mean,
Well, we do now.
No, but
We do
yeah.
now. Well, I didn't
For
know what
them,
they
it's
were.
not like a thing here.
But okay, I proposed this to my family the other day. I said, if you were stuck eating one type of food, one type of food, like, from a culture,
Okay.
what would it be? So, I mean, are you going to eat
Greek.
some
Mediterranean.
Greek food? So for you, okay.
Yeah.
Greek.
For sure.
Ben?
If it's one
So it's
location.
Italian. It's
okay. Well, then it's
Mexican.
Japanese.
Okay, you're going Japanese.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right?
You
How
could
do
go
you choose?
Chinese.
I
You could
know.
go Italian. Well, I said for me, it'd be Southern for sure.
Oh,
If I
okay.
was stuck, I'd be eating gumbo, jambalaya,
Right.
some etouffee, some whatever barbecue.
I mean, that is hard to choose,
Yeah.
right?
It
is
I
hard to
always
choose,
want to like
isn't
a Kalamata olive, but
I know.
now that you've said like sushi's an option
I
and
know.
mashed potatoes are an option.
Right, mashed potatoes and cornbread. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm gonna need to hit the gym a lot more if I were to do that.
You
but-
would be adding a couple lbs, I would imagine, in the process. But you'd be eating well, and that's really
So
what
well.
it comes down to, right?
Yeah. So for me, it'd be like about the sauces. I'm gonna be in
Oh man, yeah.
the genre where there's good sauces, like Italian, French.
Right.
These places have good sauces. Southern food, good sauce.
Yeah.
Japanese, they're not so into the sauce.
I mean,
Greek, not so. Well, they got the
got-
tzatziki.
unagi sauce, eel sauce. There's sauces.
Oh, there's
man.
some sauce.
There's some
Okay.
good sauces.
I think
It's
that's
just not
probably
a thick like
American,
Right.
yeah.
Americanized. What's not a thick sauce?
like
Oh,
they,
yeah.
yeah. They're
No,
more
Yeah, it's not like you
oil
pour.
and-
Yeah, it's more like
Yeah.
a drizzle.
Sure. And dang good. Too.
It is good, actually.
Making me hungry.
Yeah, I know. I know. Well, yeah. Where are we going for lunch?
I don't know. We'll worry
Well,
about
yeah,
that
we're
later,
still looking
but,
at the
yeah, we still
cupcakes,
got to eat dessert first today.
Yeah.
But of course we'll get to that. I'm still, she's got when she calls anyway, which we've got this lined up, so we got a few minutes for her to get it in. And so when she calls, I think I'd love to ask her about some of her educational stuff, like you were talking about earlier, because we even have some, like, I guess, what would you say, residuals, or at least like part of her. Go ahead and tell at the library. You were talking about this earlier.
So she started in 1995. So the 90s.
Love it.
Oh.
Get it, Mike. Get it.
Shout out to the 90s.
Something that has been such a huge project. She calls it it's called Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. And what it is you can register for free. Anybody can register for free and give it as a gift or for yourself if you're having children. But she will have a book sent to you from birth to 5 years old.
Oh, cool.
So it's the coolest program ever.
Right.
And it came out of, again, something that sparked for her. Her father, she calls him the smartest man she's ever known, but he was illiterate. He
wow.
came from the mountains of Tennessee and could not read at all.
Wow.
Brilliant man.
I got goosebumps.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
And
cool.
so it was really important for her to start something that would encourage reading, encourage literacy. It has so far 172 million books have gone to kids.
Wow.
And something that is just so cool. So if you read one book a month to a kid, by the time they're 5, what is that, 60 books? Right?
Yeah.
By the time they're 5. And at 5, they're just probably learning to read, at most kids, right? Like generally kindergarten starts at 5, and that's where you're learning to read, that type of thing. So, I mean, the impact that something like this has is incredible. Prescott Public Library has qualified to offer this as well. Cool. And it's something that they apply for. You know, public libraries all over the nation apply to have this program brought into their city libraries, and Prescott Public Library offers it as well. And then again, just everybody that's having a baby or that knows somebody that's having a baby, I feel like this is an easy no-brainer gift, right? Yeah. Everybody loves a good children's book.
Right.
And so that is something that I love. I'm super proud of that program. It's not even mine. Like everybody that I know, I sign up. I'm like, who's having babies these days? Our own Mary Lee has babies.
Yes,
coming,
indeed. You're gonna need 2 copies
signed up. Double subscription.
So I just think that is an incredible program and so impactful and a legacy for sure. If she only did that, like, can you imagine the impact that it's had? Right. But of course, she's not only done that. She's just and done that. Right.
On top of it's like, if you will, icing on the cake. But maybe that's like her most rewarding, is doing something like that. I mean, I've read to my kids I'd say basically every day of their lives that I've been there, at least. It's just something we do. We've always done.
Yeah, that's great.
And they're still illiterate, but
but their comprehension is super good.
Absolutely, it is really good. Actually, that's
two parts.
They got the high marks there, but they don't read good.
Yeah, it's common.
Kidding,
they
of
don't
course.
Read good.
Do you guys remember learning to read? Like, did you learn to read in school, or is it something that your family
definitely
did?
School.
Yeah, I'd say it was school for me too. Like I don't really remember books being as big a part as that we've tried to. I'm sure you have too, and you guys, with your kids, Rebecca, tried to make it more of a thing with the
reading. I didn't grow up with a lot of reading. No, I think we had books on tape. Like we had some stuff that we could, put in our cassette player,
which is always there you go, comprehension again.
Right? Yeah, exactly. But listening, it's good.
For me, I didn't even really love to read until I'd say like college. Actually, like that's when I really started finding some really cool books that maybe helped shape me in some ways. Those important years. And
I learned in kindergarten. Kindergarten was a critical year for me because it was pretty awesome. I was in Scottsdale, Kiva Elementary. Shout out to Kiva. And I remember these books, like, what was it? Like some tigers or who knows?
You tell us.
It was like, so obviously it was that critical of a year for me. I remember it so well. No, it was like, didn't we do phonics back then though?
Phonics for sure.
It was all phonics and it was like these little, I don't know. So I think I picked it up pretty easily.
I remember reading the back of the box of cereal every morning.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like that was, and I had the same box of cereal every day, but every morning I read that box of cereal. Box.
What was the box? We got to know.
Well, so we were not a sugar family. We were not allowed to have sugar cereal.
I was picturing that. But
anything, but once in a while we'd sneak in some like Tony the Tiger sugar flakes.
Yeah.
Frosted flakes. No, like that's how deprived I was.
Oh, poor thing. Yeah, those are delicious.
I never liked them.
But
just reading the back of a box of cereal.
Yeah,
that was a thing, right?
Mm-hmm. I know, and they used to have stuff in the cereal box,
right?
Like a little toy or something.
And yeah.
That was
I know that's not cereal, but same idea.
I know.
They did have
maybe somebody
a lot more
on
inside.
And they got rid of it.
Yeah, probably.
Those
Probably.
80s and 90s kids, always
man.
choking on stuff.
Yeah, ruin it for
That
everyone.
Gen X has had to raise
Yeah, Gen
themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were on our own. Yeah, there was no reading books at home. It's like, do you know how to read? Sure, I do.
Yeah.
All right, good.
Yeah. Get out of here. Go play.
Go play. Go play with something dangerous.
Yes.
See
Go
it
start a fire.
Right.
Go start.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I totally. We built fires all the time.
We did too.
Out in the woods. Like we thought we were in the woods, but we were like 20 yards from
In your
a house.
Yeah, you hadn't made it very far. Just felt
roasting
like a long ways.
some weenies on the fire, marshmallows.
Hopefully those were the hot dog.
We were
kind.
roughing it.
Yeah.
Good,
Good.
with the cheese in the middle. Do you remember those?
Man, of
Or do they
course.
still make those?
I think that might exist, but
Man.
not as common.
Yeah. Some nitrites.
A
Nitrates.
lot of that going on.
A lot of weird hormones in
yeah.
hot dogs.
You
cheese
don't want to know
product.
that cheese can't even be good. If they're
No.
like, it's cheese, it's so bad. They're like, we have to save this to put in the hot dogs.
Put it in the hot
'cause,
dogs.
yeah,
It'll
it's already
boil out.
leftovers.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, that is a beautiful reminiscence. Now I'm still staring at these
I know.
cupcakes.
Try to use the microphone to
I
block them
know.
from view because they're so good looking. But we have the
don't
time
know.
might have come where
I
we
know.
need to get into these things. So
I feel like Dolly might have just, she's so busy.
she
I don't
is
know.
very busy, and it would have been an honor, of course. And I'm not saying she might sneak one in here in a couple seconds or so, but
Well,
I'm not holding out.
Before we give up on
up.
Dolly, I do want to say, obviously our show, we talk about success, right? The success of all these celebrities, athletes, musicians,
right.
who have transcended time, mostly 80s and 90s. Don't forget. But then today as well, still relevant today. Well, now, to the point that Dolly's success, probably she's been so successful, kind of to what you were talking earlier, how much she gives. And so, as a measure of success, she's up there as far as,
absolutely.
Who we've seen so far on our show. And
not
she's
had
really,
Colin, right?
right.
Yeah.
but they're there with us in spirit.
You guys
Yes.
are waiting always.
We're always
We'll
waiting.
be waiting, but that's okay.
But yeah, this is Dolly. She ranks pretty high.
Well, as
in
far as
the
longevity goes,
success
especially,
and success in how she gives back.
right?
How she's
and maybe that should be the ultimate measure.
It's right
like
now.
She has,
I'm feeling that way.
I don't know, very graciously, because that's just the woman that she is, but did not accept the Presidential Medal of Freedom twice. She's been offered the Medal of Freedom and has humbly said that she, doesn't want to accept it because there's so many other people that are deserving.
Wow.
And so, somebody that gives back to community so much that
Stays
she's
humble too.
and stays
Humility.
humble.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
But has been honored at that highest level of citizenship, right?
Right.
By the president of the United States, and still is like there are citizens doing more out there. That's incredible.
Huge. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was just thinking that didn't she turn down Hall of Fame from the Country Music Hall of Fame as well. She turned that down originally and then eventually accepted
Yes,
it. But
I feel
know,
like they were just
obviously
like,
those are
you
not the same,
absolutely
but
need this.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
stop saying
You
no
can't say
and
no.
just take it.
Right. And I think, they work
At some point, it's like, okay, we get it. You're humble.
Yes,
Let's
Right.
go.
I
Let-
feel
you
like
know.
that is true, right?
Right.
There just
We
is a
need you
point
as
where
part of
people
our
are
group.
like, okay, you're deserving of it. Just say thank you.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, then it's almost like diminishing other people's acceptance of it. Like,
yeah.
Right? Then the next guy can't accept it because Dolly Parton
Yeah.
didn't accept it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, winning the 50-50 raffle. You're like, oh, shoot, now I got to donate this back. I mean, no,
Or do you?
Or do you,
That's
right?
yeah,
I know.
That is
It's
one
like,
of those questions. Not the same level, probably, as like,
not at all.
presidential
Not at
level.
all. The $400 you won in the 50-50 raffle.
Yeah. But,
Okay. Well,
Sometimes
all
you
right.
can use it.
I mean, my hands are getting
they're getting closer and
I mean,
closer to these cupcakes. These
really,
beautiful,
Marilee,
beautiful
this is
cupcakes,
incredible.
Marilee. Thank you so much.
You can't see this at home, but we've got the piping, right? Is the terminology
I think
for
hopefully
this.
we can.
Piping.
Marilee does such a good job of all of
There's
our stuff.
some
That I
pink,
imagine
some
you
white.
will see these out there
Hot
in the
pink.
social world.
Oh, I hope so.
yes.
And then some orange
So, right.
to like bring in all the color palette of
and
Southern style.
is there a way to tell apart which is which? Like, how do I know?
I think I'm gonna
so-
smell it.
Coconut, or which is banana.
Yeah, we got coconut.
Oh, I got banana here.
So the coconut has some white. Ooh, nice
okay.
touch. Dang, girl, you don't miss anything, do you?
I used my detective skills and I
Okay.
smelled them.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, you did the old sniffer test, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Me and Sherlock.
We do have a cheater on the set, behind the scenes. Austin is still alive, so we do know that they have not been poisoned. So that's good.
Good.
Yeah,
Thanks.
yeah.
He's the tester.
I didn't hear if Wilson had one or not, but thank you guys for being here, for doing this. We're gonna give these things. So
Taste test. I'm going coconut first.
okay, well, I guess I'll join you.
Oh, yeah.
I'll join you. How about
I'm
you?
joining
Are you refrain or abstaining?
No,
if you will?
I need to see how you guys eat a cupcake because there's technique.
Okay, so how did Mike go? He just slammed it.
No, he picked a piece
I'm a
off.
puller.
And then ate a piece.
You're
yeah.
a puller. No, you can't pull these.
It's kind of like we were talking about last week
Gotta
with the
make sure.
popcorn balls, the frozen bananas. There's awkward things to eat.
There are.
Cupcake, and you probably have the mouth for this, Ben. You got an enormous mouth.
Wow.
For the viewers at home.
Wow. Thanks, buddy. I'm going to take that enormous mouth and have a bite,
let me
and I
see
won't
you
talk
do
for a
this.
minute. So here we go.
Wow.
Great bite. You can't imagine how huge his
Half a
mouth just got.
cupcake.
Half a cupcake's
He
gone,
was able to get half of it down.
and now looks like a crescent moon.
All right, I'm gonna just go Ben style
Wow, that's
and
really
take a
good.
bite
yeah.
at it.
I
That's
feel
really
like
good.
the technique
Don't
is.
be afraid.
Just to go for it.
Yeah.
I'm going banana now. Coconut's
Coconut
delicious.
is solid.
Delicious.
Thank you, Marilee, for
Okay.
making these. I hate to ruin the beauty. How you doing on that?
With your small
good.
mouth, Mike.
My tiny
Yeah,
mouth.
tiny mouth can't make a crescent moon out of that thing, can you? This is
No,
great.
it's not like it's a nibble. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Well,
We
is
call it a
Oh,
nibble.
is
It is a
Yeah.
taste test.
No,
You're right.
no. That's as far as I could go. But
It's not like a who can eat more with one bite test. You're right. This is not a competition.
I think we should do it.
No,
We
you
should
don't
go
want
there.
that. No,
I want to
I
see
can
this.
get this whole thing. And
I
I'm
know you
pretty
could.
sure, but
I
I don't want
know.
to waste the
Monster
beautiful
mouth.
cupcake. I feel like my son does
Double
that.
M.
Like when he's trying to finish eating, he'll just stuff, and then he's got his mouth full, and he's like, "Dude, that's not even worth it. Just
I know. You're not enjoying it at that
enjoy
point.
it. Yeah. So
Okay,
I'm gonna enjoy.
Here
this.
goes Ben.
This is my
Bite number 2.
This is my okay.
Let's see it. I'm going back to my pinch, pull, and
It
place.
is impressive, Ben. I have to say, Mike
was a
is
bigger
right.
bite.
Like a half a cupcake in one
That was
bite.
a bigger bite.
Good job.
I am enjoying it. I swear.
Yeah, I like it. It's Southern style for sure.
Golly, the banana is amazing.
So I get to have these on my menu, right? When I just eat Southern food for the rest of my life, I get to have Southern style Dolly Parton, coconut and banana.
I'm usually so full after eating sushi and sashimi that
Well,
I
yeah.
don't want anything else.
I can't do the Japanese dessert. Can't do it.
Right.
The mochi balls.
Oh, love that.
Those
Do
are
you?
very
Oh,
good.
no,
they're
not for
good.
me.
I just never have room.
Really?
Oh yeah, I go
Is it
out
a
with
texture
sushi.
thing for you?
I
That
think so.
rice?
Yeah.
Goodness gracious! I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't mean to like cut you off, but I'm
Well,
just
okay.
in
Dolly
awe.
and
So
Duncan Hines.
I'm not a huge coconut. Like, okay, so when it comes to, I should, clarify. Shredded coconut,
We talked about this last week with the candy. You don't
exactly.
like mounds
Yeah,
or
don't give me a
Almond Joy.
mounds.
You're
Get
sending
almond
them
joy.
my-
Get them
my
out of here.
way.
Put them in the trash. Whatever you want to do. But when it comes to like coconut cake,
Yeah.
it's one of my favorites for sure.
Wow.
And now come to find out Southern style banana is too. I didn't know that until today. So thank you for that.
know.
Marilee. These are amazing. They look amazing.
They look amazing.
Rebecca, are you going to get after one or are
Yeah,
you scared
I'm gonna get
to
after
try
one
it?
for sure.
Okay. I'm going to keep going. I'm just going to eat it.
Yeah,
It feels like
I
I'm
mean,
wasted.
well, this
if I
is
don't
kind
eat
of
this.
how
This
we're,
is something new that's come out recently. This licensing deal with Duncan Hines and Dolly. She's
okay.
been, again, in charge of her career since the very beginning, in charge of her image, in charge of all of that. And so for her to have her image on a cake box and icing is a big deal. Mm-hmm. And for a fan like me, for sure, like my birthday cake forevermore will be a Duncan Hines Dolly cake,
Nice.
right?
If you can find it, right? Isn't
It's-
it?
it's
if you
super
can
hard to
find it.
get, yeah.
Yeah, it's like exclusive.
yeah. Lots
I don't
of
know.
fans
Yeah,
out
what
there.
are we going to put our images on, Ben? I mean, with our fame and fortune. Should we call Duncan Hines?
Would you do cake?
Or
What'd you do?
should we call
Right.
Betty Crocker over there?
Well, if we're
Get
going to
the
compete with
competition.
Dolly,
With Dolly.
I don't think we'll be able
Yeah.
to. But
Between your mouth and her hair.
yeah,
I feel like
Hair.
you guys belong on grits. That
Grits.
feels right.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love it.
as long as there's some shrimp in them grits.
Yeah.
I'm in. Have you had shrimp and grits?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you? Okay, good. Guilty? You both guilty? I
Somebody
love it.
around here serves it. Or maybe it was the
I think you're right.
Prescott Grill or Prescott Station.
It feels like a
It was at
barley
Prescott
Right.
Station, and now that's gone.
I think
Right, or
Barley
even
Hound
county
had
seat.
grapes for
Oh, yeah.
hot
Oh,
seconds.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yep.
Yeah, I'm telling you, every time. Southern food.
So good.
It's my thing.
Well, I don't know that Dolly's
Well,
going to call
well,
gang.
I know,
feel
you guys.
bad
I'm
about
sorry.
this.
I really
Hey,
had
I'll just keep
a
eating.
good hope.
We
I'm grateful
appreciate-
that you
yeah,
invited
effort.
me on today.
Well, we appreciate
with
the
you.
partnership with you and Cast 11.
Right, we never even really got into your role,
Our relationship.
and our relationship, and all these. I mean, this could be an hour-long episode. Sorry, Marilee. Sorry, Austin.
Yeah. Wilson.
I have been a fan of the two of you for a very long time.
Oh, thank you.
I
Jeez.
saw
That's so kind.
I saw the parade that never happened in 2020
Mm-hmm.
with you two standing on the street corner downtown Prescott, Arizona, commentating on a parade that never happened. And
That's when this all began.
I don't know that you have this underground fan base just from that episode.
Yeah,
So
So
funny.
to-
Yeah, I
that
know.
was
2
news to
years
me.
ago.
You brought that to my attention. I had really no
Should
idea.
pluck you out and say that belongs on the air going forward in a weekly production.
Mike loves it.
Feels
We
right.
got
That's
fist
awfully
bump
nice.
over that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
And thank you. I mean, you guys, without you guys putting us in here
with this
and
talented
doing this and-
staff at Cast 11, Austin
yes.
and Marilee and Wilson, and it just felt right. So
Yes.
I'm super happy to bring that humor to the masses.
Yeah.
Well, we
yeah.
appreciate it. Yeah,
we
it's
do. We
super
do.
fun.
Thanks for coming and joining us today. And look
Yeah, and
forward
bringing
to,
to light Dolly and her greatness.
And her greatness.
Greatness.
We might have to have you back for some, if you have some more connections. I know Dolly is definitely your closest, but
I know.
it was fun to get through this with you.
And that's what's cool about Prescott. There's, all of these people that we know and that we're connected with have these connections. And so there's lots of room, I think, for you guys to ask other people to come on the show, and who they know will for sure call in. I mean,
Absolutely.
Prescott is a
Yep, yep.
surprise. You just scratch the surface and there's a lot going on right
Yeah,
under.
absolutely.
It really is.
You're absolutely right.
Yep, Central Arizona. We're thankful to be here, and sure is fun spending time with you, Ben, each and every week on waiting on a phone call and
Yes, sir.
working with Cast 11 and you, Rebecca. I'm really impressed with Dolly and your knowledge of Dolly. I'm gonna dedicate more time.
I
to
learned some things.
learning
That was
about Dolly.
insightful for sure. So thank you.
Yeah, cool woman. Yeah, so thanks y'all for a great episode.
I'll tune in next week to see who you guys will be waiting for then.
So will we.
Yeah, you're right. We'll be just as surprised.
Listen in to Waiting on a Phone Call wherever you find podcasts. And if you want to see these magnificent cupcakes that we taste tested today, you can connect with us through Facebook and Instagram at Waiting on a Phone Call Podcast.
You can also tune into news, updates, and information from Prescott, Arizona on Cast 11, Prescott's #1 podcast network.